to the Golden State Warriors News Today channel. Take the opportunity to leave that like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go to today's news.
Have you ever stopped to think about what really makes a championship team? Is it an unstoppable offense or a suffocating defense? The Golden State Warriors may have just given us the answer. Against the New York Knicks, we saw a clear example of how this team is shaping up for the playoffs. But will this defensive strategy be enough to face giants like the Denver Nuggets and Boston Celtics? And more, a major move might be on the way. Could Jonathan Kuminga be sacrificed to further strengthen the team? Let's analyze all of this now. If there was one thing that stood out in the victory over the Knicks, it was the Warriors' defense. Moses Moody and Draymond Green demonstrated an impressive reading of the game, closing gaps and neutralizing plays before they even happened. Draymond, in particular, always seemed one step ahead, anticipating movements and dismantling opponents with mastery. But what truly impresses is the collective effort. The Warriors defended as a single unit, as if every player were connected by an invisible thread. It's no coincidence. The numbers prove this efficiency. The team leads the NBA in paint defense, holding opponents to just 24.7% shooting near the basket. Simply absurd. However, this approach comes at a cost. By prioritizing paint protection, the Warriors end up allowing a high volume of three-point attempts. Against the Knicks, this wasn't an issue. New York hit only 9 of 24 attempts. But what if the opponent is Denver, which thrives from beyond the arc? Or Boston, with Tatum and Brown ready to punish any open space? This might be the biggest question Steve Kerr needs to solve before the playoffs. Is it worth sticking with this strategy, or are adjustments necessary? History has shown that Kerr knows how to adapt when needed. Will we see an even more versatile Warriors team in the postseason? Now, let's talk about another bombshell that could change everything, the possible trade of Kuminga for John Collins. Since the arrival of Jimmy Butler, the Warriors have transformed. With him on the court, the team boasts an impressive record of 14 wins and just 1 loss. Beyond defense, Butler has brought intensity, leadership, and a winning mentality, something that has directly impacted Draymond Green and given Stephen Curry even more freedom to shine. But here's the problem. Where does Kuminga fit into this new scheme? The 22-year-old lost playing time due to an injury that sidelined him for 31 games. Now, with the team adjusted, his reintegration has been challenging, fueling rumors of a potential trade. And here's the question. Is it worth trading Kuminga for John Collins? On one hand, Collins has already proven to be a reliable player in crucial moments. His averages of 19 points, 8.2 rebounds, and nearly 40% from three-point range suggest he could be an essential piece in the Warriors' offense. Additionally, his partnership with Curry in the pick-and-roll could create even deadlier plays. Defensively, Collins also contributes with steals and blocks, further strengthening the team's rotation. On the other hand, Kuminga is considered one of the most promising young talents in the NBA. His athleticism and skill set stand out, and giving up on a player with such potential could be a huge long-term risk. Moreover, he will soon become a restricted free agent, and renewing his contract could be a financial challenge for a team already facing salary cap constraints. So what now? Should GM Mike Dunleavy risk everything and trade Kuminga to bolster the team for the present, or should he keep the young star and bet on the future? This decision could shape the Warriors' destiny for years to come. The reality is that the Warriors are at a pivotal moment. The team is stronger than ever, but adjustments are still needed. If Kerr can find the right balance between paint defense and perimeter containment, the Warriors could become a true playoff threat. But what about the trade? Should the team go all in on the present or trust Kuminga's potential? Is the franchise willing to risk losing a future all-star in exchange for a more established piece? Now I want to hear from you. Do you think the Warriors should trade Kuminga for Collins, or would that be an unforgivable mistake? Leave your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report for more exclusive content about our team. The big dilemma for the Warriors right now is simple. Wait for Kuminga to develop, or act now to maximize Stephen Curry's remaining prime years. Looking at the franchise's recent history, we see that the Warriors have always bet on patience and internal development. That's how Jordan Poole, for example, went from an inconsistent player to a key piece in the 2022 championship. But we also saw the downside of this approach with James Wiseman, who never found his place and was eventually traded without making a real impact on the team. If the Warriors believe Kuminga can explode in the coming years and become an all-star, keeping him makes total sense. But if there are doubts about his ability to fit into the current system, especially now with Butler and Draymond Green dominating the defensive front, then trading him for a veteran like Collins might be the best move. But what if there's another option? If Kuminga doesn't fit and Collins isn't the best solution, what else can the Warriors do? The NBA market is always active, and there are rumors that other teams might be interested in Kuminga. The Toronto Raptors, for example, could be a potential trade partner, as they are looking for young talent to rebuild their roster. Players like Pascal Siakam or OG Anunoby have been mentioned in previous trade talks, and both could bring exactly what the Warriors need: versatility, elite defense, and playoff experience. Another name that could come into play is Lauri Markkanen from the Utah Jazz. The forward has had incredible seasons and could be the perfect piece to complement the Warriors' offense without compromising their defense. The problem? His price. To acquire Markkanen, the Warriors would likely have to give up Kuminga and several other valuable assets. The question is the team willing to pay that price? Regardless of who the Warriors bring in, Collins, Siakam, Markkanen, or another name, the reality is clear: Stephen Curry won't stay young forever. At 36, he is still playing at an MVP level, but for how much longer? Every season wasted without a championship contending roster is a lost opportunity. The franchise needs to make a decision: keep investing in the future or go all in on the present to chase another ring. And this isn't an easy question. Betting on the future means building a team that can compete for years to come, but also runs the risk of letting Curry's final elite years pass without another championship. On the other hand, going all in now might result in another title, but could leave the team without young pieces to sustain a rebuild once Curry, Butler, and Green are gone. So what's the best choice? The Warriors are at a crossroads. What they do now could define the franchise's future for the next 5 to 10 years. If Kerr manages to balance paint defense and perimeter containment, the Warriors could become one of the most dangerous teams in the playoffs. But will that be enough to beat teams like the Nuggets, Celtics, and Mavericks? And what about Kuminga? Could he still be the future of the team, or is it time to trade him to secure another title now? What would you do if you were GM Mike Dunleavy? Would you let Kuminga develop or trade him for Collins or another player to strengthen the roster now? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Your comment might be featured in the next video. And if you haven't subscribed to Warriors News Fan Report yet, now's the time. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates about our team. As a Warriors fan, I see this situation in two ways. First, the defense is solid, and the team seems to have rediscovered its identity. Jimmy Butler has had a massive impact, not just defensively, but also in the team's mentality, something that has truly brought Draymond Green back to his best. This, combined with Moses Moody's growth and the always brilliant Stephen Curry, makes the Warriors a very dangerous team in the playoffs. Now, about the possible Kuminga for Collins trade, honestly, I don't like the idea. Collins is a good player, no doubt. His offensive versatility would help, and his pick-and-roll game with Curry could be lethal. But let's be honest, he's not a franchise-changing player. If the Warriors are going to trade Kuminga, it needs to be for someone who truly elevates the team, someone like Pascal Siakam or even Lauri Markkanen. What do you think? Should the Warriors trust Kuminga's potential? Trade him now to maximize their championship chances? Personally, I'd rather give him more time to develop and see how far he can take this team.